Hi viewers, welcome back. In this lecture, we will be discussing on flexible use of airspace. The flexible use of airspace concept has been adopted by ICAO as a tool for enhancing the efficiency and safety of civil aircraft operations and at the same time maintaining national defense and military training requirements. Flexible use of airspace is an airspace management concept based on principle that airspace should not be designated purely as civil or military, but rather as a continuum in which all user requirements are accommodated to the greatest possible extent. In a practical sense, this means that designated airspace for the exclusive use of military by creating rigid structures such as danger, restricted, prohibited areas should be avoided. Instead, flexible structures such as temporary segregated area and temporary restricted area should be created and allocated one day before the day of operations through airspace management cells. This will prevent idling of airspace. The flexible use of airspace also permits the creation of conditional routes through military airspaces, which can be allocated by airspace management cells in pre-tactical phase. Whose airspace is it anyway? Before replying to this, you must understand that global air traffic doubles every 15 years. There is increased military operations also globally. Due to the increasing density of air traffic, the availability of airspace and airspace management becomes more important. Airspace is no longer regarded as a civil or military, but as a continuum, which is allocated in a flexible way and always on temporary basis to civil and military users according to their requirement. ICAO Circular 330, as per that, airspace should be considered as a national asset and single continuum. Airspace should be used flexibly on day-to-day basis. Airspace should be segregated based on need and preferably it should be temporary. So flexible use of airspace, how is it possible? Military flights seeks freedom to operate at any time as they are on time critical missions. There are restrictions over airspace due to national security reasons, but still civil and military can coexist, which is only possible through continuous engagement, mutual trust, joint use of airports, joint use of air navigation facilities, cooperation in airspace design. Let's understand about the stakeholders of airspace. Military aviation, which seeks freedom to operate at any time in all reserve airspace for time critical missions. They need priority for flying through civil airspace. Now, as regard to airlines, they mainly require an air traffic management system able to handle safely and cost effectively the large amount of existing traffic while providing continuous gate-to-gate service to commercial flights with the ability to operate on time and with great flight efficiency. General aviation, aerial work operations, and sporting recreational flyings are concerned that they should get airspace for their business activities. Airport needs area protected in terms of control zone or control area to protect airdrome traffic. Air navigation service providers need terminal and en route airspace for accommodating growing civil aviation traffic. Air traffic flow and capacity management needs airspace for airspace planning in real-time environment. All of their specific requirements having an impact on the airspace network which need to be properly addressed. Therefore, the airspace should not be designated as either pure civil or military airspace, but rather be considered as a continuum in which all user requirements have to be accommodated to the extent possible. Now we will understand few terms for better understanding of flexible use of airspace concept. Airspace Management Cell, Joint Civil Military Cell, which is established by a national authority, which is responsible for day-to-day management and temporary allocation of national airspace under the flexible use of airspace concept. Allocation decisions are notified by airspace user plan, which is known as AUP, and allots airspace identified as TRA, TSA, or cross-border area or conditional routes. Airspace Use Plan AUP is an airspace management message of NOTAM status notifying the daily decisions of an airspace management cell on the temporary allocation of the airspace within its jurisdiction for a specific time period by means of a standard message format. Collaborative Decision Making CDM. It is a process whereby all air traffic management decisions, except for tactical air traffic control decisions, are based on the exchange of all relevant information for transit operations between civilian and military parties. Conditional routes, CDR. These are non-permanent air traffic service route or part of it that can be planned and used under special conditions. So there are three CDR routes. CDR1, which is permanently plannable during the time published in aeronautical information publication, expected to be available at most of the time. These are plannable same way as permanent air traffic service routes. Then CDR2, these are non-permanently plannable. These are daily allocated as negotiated. Pilot will request to air traffic controller. Air traffic controller will coordinate with the concerned area control unit. That concerned area control unit will coordinate with the concerned military air traffic service unit. It is plannable only in accordance with the daily AUP. Part of predefined routing scenario is possible in CDR2. CDR3 are not plannable at all, usable upon ATC instructions only as short notice routing. Suppose you have filed a routing and you wish to operate a route which is shorter and which is CDR3. You will make a request to the air traffic controller. Air traffic controller will request to its area control center. Area control center will check with the military licensing unit, which is having responsibility over that ATS route. If there will be no movement, they will allow the flight on case by case basis. Prior coordination airspace. Prior coordination airspace is a portion of airspace which is of defined dimension within which individual civil aviation is permitted to fly off route only after prior coordination initiated by controller with military controllers. Then reduced coordination airspace. It is a portion of airspace of defined dimensions within which general air traffic is permitted to fly off route without requiring coordination between controllers. Spatial use airspace. It is the term used for airspace wherein activities must be confined because of their nature, or wherein limitations are imposed on aircraft operations that are not a part of those activities. Spatial use airspace is a generic term used to refer restricted areas, danger areas, prohibited areas, temporary reserved areas, or temporary segregated areas. Temporary reserved area is an airspace temporarily reserved and allocated for the specific use of a particular user during a determined period of time, through which other flights may also pass with the permission from the air traffic control. Temporary reserved area can be considered as the flexible equivalent of restricted area. Temporary Segregated Area (TSA). It is an airspace temporarily reserved and allocated for the exclusive use of a specific user during a determined period of time through which no other flight may pass. So, temporary segregated area can be considered as the flexible equivalent of danger area. Flexible use of airspace is made possible through dynamic airspace management. The flexible use of airspace concept is based on three levels of airspace management which correspond with the associated civil military air traffic management coordination task. The three levels of airspace management have specific time frames matching with the availability of associated flexible use of airspace structures such as temporary segregated area, temporary restricted area, and conditional routes. The three phases of airspace management in flexible use of airspace are strategic, pre-tactical, and tactical. So first is airspace management level 1. This is strategic. It can be from any day before D-1. They review all available resources, that is airspace, routes, and they are high-level policy makers. Airspace management level 2. This is pre-tactical. The day before the day of operation, that is D-1. Airspace allocation is based on military or civil user requirement. Joint Civil Military AMC are responsible for the pre-tactical activity of allocating flexible airspace structure such as TSA, TRA, and CDR routes. ASM level 3, this is tactical. On the day of operation, real-time use of airspace allowing a safe separation between civil and military aircraft with real-time coordination between appropriate civil and military air traffic service unit. Actually, airspace management is done at three levels. Any day before D-1 day of operation, day before day of operation, that is D-1, or day of operation, that is D. Any day before D-1 day of operation is strategic ASM level 1. National Airspace Management Advisory Committee, which consists of a joint civil military process for formulating the national airspace management policy and to carry out the necessary strategic planning work for conducting airspace management activities, taking into account national and international airspace users' requirement within the framework of national security requirements. Strategic airspace management activity include periodic review of national airspace and creation of airspace structures such as TSA, TRA, and CDR. The procedures to be followed at pre-tactical and tactical airspace management levels, the priority rules, and the negotiation procedure for airspace allocation at these levels should be determined at the strategic level. The day before day of operation is pre-tactical airspace management level 2, consists of the day-to-day management and temporary allocation of airspace by regional and national AMC. Airspace Management Cell AMC are joint civil military airspace management focal points which have the authority to conduct airspace management within the framework of the national airspace structure, priority rules, and negotiation procedures as laid down by the National Airspace Management Advisory Committee. Airspace Management Cell collect and analyze airspace requests from various airspace users. After coordination with stakeholders, the Airspace Management Cell promulgate the airspace allocation as an airspace use plan, that is AUP, and changes thereto as updated airspace use plan UUP. Day of operation, that is tactical airspace management level 3. It consists of the real-time activation, deactivation, or real-time reallocation of the airspace allocated at airspace management level 2 and resolution of a specific airspace problem or traffic situations between civil and military air traffic service unit or controlling military units as appropriate. The purpose of the airspace data management service is to organize and provide all necessary airspace information to feed the network manager operation systems integrated initial flight plan processing system and enhanced tactical flow management system. Strategic airspace management decisions are published through AIP. Pre-tactical decisions are through airspace use plan. Tactical decisions through updated airspace use plan. Actual decisions are implemented through concerned civil military air traffic service units. The Network Manager Operations Center filters this information and uses it to update the central airspace and capacity database, a common airspace data repository feeding operation systems and enabling aeronautical data services. Flight plan data repository system to forecast future traffic trends based on strategic decisions. Operator submits RPL. Based on pre-tactical decisions, operator plan for optimum air routes and submits flight plans. On day of operation, flight plan can be resubmitted to avail the airspace benefit, or through real-time coordination, air traffic controller amends the current flight plan. This way, the updated flight information is available to all stakeholders, which helps to meet the airspace demand and also helps to protect the national security issues. Hope you got a good idea about flexible use of airspace concept. For more such informative videos, please subscribe your very own Aviation and Air Traffic Control channel. Thanks for watching.